Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 52 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. We made it to 52 episodes, like we talked about last week. We have enjoyed it and appreciate the feedback and support, and we're going to keep on going. So we'll have some cool stuff in the future. Keep on bringing this to you. So thank you all once again. And as always, start out with updates for results going out. So today we'll have some more fast test results going out. So if you had sheds get received in the last 2 or 3 days or whatever, since we had over the weekend, we'll have results going out today and at least 1 or 2 more times this week. So lots of fast tests still going all the time. And then I just got a big run going, and I will get a whole bunch of data dumped on me tomorrow. So I'll start analyzing like crazy. So this is for full panels and for the few tests that we can't do as fast tests yet. All of that I'll start analyzing tomorrow. And so most likely Thursday and Friday will be when those results will be coming out. And over the weekend, hopefully at the latest, we'll get everything out to everybody. I know some of you have been waiting on panels for about a month, so we'll try to get that out to you as quick as we can. But yeah, so lots of stuff coming out. And then sex determination for both colubrids and pythons will come out a couple of times this week, today and at least one other time this week. So yeah, lots of stuff coming all the time. And once again, we appreciate you all using our services. And as the breeding season is heating up, we're excited to see what you all produce this year. That's going to be fun to see. I know I've got some locks, and I don't have any eggs yet, but locks and things going on, and always a fun time of the year. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey Ben, I'm doing great. Just doing my thing over here. Still waiting on some rat snake locks. I'm thinking my female rat snake. Well, the one that laid eggs 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks ago now. I think might have been 2 weeks. I think she is. I think hopefully she'll be done for this year. But my other one, Clover, I think she comes from more northern climates historically, so I think she's going to be ovulating later than my other female who came from warmer climates. So I'm still, peeking in there at my male, like, come on, dude, figure it out. But
is that the only other clutch you're expecting this year?
Yes. I just have my 3 breeding size females right now, but hopefully, I'll have I'll have 2 more ready by next year, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So we did have, as far as rare genetic specific things going, we had a poll that we put up last week on YouTube, and mentioned in our show that we wanted to talk to you guys about because we have some results.
Yeah, so thanks to all of you that chimed in, and I
Mhm.
believe the poll will still be open, and you can also
Yes.
comments. So definitely, if you didn't see this last week, definitely let us know. What we're asking is if we had all 3 of these things available, which one would you use the most? Would that be a fast panel? It would be more expensive, but it would make it so you could get all of those. Right now, 22 results. Here before too long, we'll maybe add the other new tests to that. But a fast panel where you'd get your results fast, but it will be more expensive than the one right now, since it will be more expensive for us to do that way. Then the other one was a custom pick 5 and pick 10. So you have an option to either choose if you wanted up to 5 or up to 10. And then those would be 100% up to you. You'd get to pick whatever 5 or whatever 10 you wanted and pay for that and get some kind of a discount. Just like we do with the full panel. I think the full panel now you're paying like around $5 a test
Mhm.
if you're getting 22 results. And then pick 5, pick 10, won't be that cheap per test, but certainly be, a good discount for a set of 5 or a set of 10. And then the last one is the genomic registry we've been talking about for a while, that hopefully we'll be able to make that happen the next, hopefully 2 to 4 months, something like that. It'd be nice to have it going by the time people are hatching out all their babies, the majority of the babies this year, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's a new thing that's taken a lot of time and effort and focus, and each time we think we're there, and then we find another problem that we've got to solve. So
the scientific process.
But yeah, so far people said the one that they would use the most is the pick 5, pick 10 option. So that I like that. That makes sense. I could see how that would be helpful to me too. A lot of the time, I would probably mostly be interested in 5 to 10 for a specific animal. And then the genomic registry also would be very helpful.
Awesome.
And be helpful for many reasons, and probably for some that we haven't even thought of. I think in some of the comments, someone brought that up, that the genomic registry will likely be helpful for in ways that we don't even know right now.
Yeah. We had a couple comments on the polls that we had here. And if you can see on the screen, about 85 people chimed in. If there are more of you who didn't catch the last one, still go vote, because this is kind of how we gauge, where you guys as our audience are at. That way we can figure out where we should steer the ship going forward. Like what's going to help you guys the most with this upcoming breeding season and years to come. Yes. Geeked over on the poll commented, honestly, I'm not so sure the genomic registry and select trait testing really compare to one another. The reasons for using each seems drastically different to me, so both will be important tools alongside one another, which the polls seem to show people liked both of them pretty fairly equally. Continuing, any breeder holdbacks, I imagine, would be added to the registry and help keep an amazing genetic map of your lines. Fast testing is great for figuring out animals that could have important hets, are overly complex, or have harder to see mutations. This would be really important on the sales front, as opposed to animals being held back. I think that's a good point. And yeah, if I were a ball python breeder, I would definitely be looking at it in that way. And then Donald Smith below said the custom options would be great, and I think the genomic registry would be immensely useful in more ways than I think are readily apparent, like Ben mentioned. Excited to see what benefits we could see from the latter.
Yes. Yeah, thank you sincerely for the feedback, both the poll voting and the comments. That's very helpful to us as we're making decisions. We know that it's more important to get you all a pick 5, pick 10 option than it is to make a fast panel. And we're going to keep working on that genomic registry no matter what, but we'll have a little bit more motivation behind us because we know that's something that you all are interested in as well. So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it makes sense, especially with sales, and hopefully this summer there will be a nice uptick in the market for different morphs too. So having those a la carte pick 5, pick 10 tests will be a good thing for us. Some really cool videos have been made over at Always Evolving Pythons with our friend Miguel doing some nice shout outs for us.
Yeah, he's made some beautiful videos talking about the shed testing that he's doing, and the one there on the right, he does some math for the testing that he sent in, and he's obviously making some very high-end animals, and the difference in price from the few that he did the math on, I think it was like 5 or 6 of them or something, that changed their value from as POS hets to when he knew their genetics. It was a $30,000 difference. So
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So the price for testing is a no-brainer when you have, even if they're medium, level, but for sure as a high dollar animal, it's a no-brainer. You want to know for sure what's in there.
Oh yeah.
And then he also talked a little bit about, we made a scale clip video, and he was mentioning to me as he was preparing to send samples in, he said something about having to wait a while for this male. I think he ended up hatching out some hypos from a pairing. He didn't expect hypos, and so he wanted to just test the male and make sure. There's always a chance something weird like parthenogenesis could happen where just the female is carrying. But anyway, just to make totally sure, he wanted to test that male, but he was frustrated. It's going to take a while for him to shed because he's an adult. He doesn't shed very often. And so I mentioned, hey, we've got a scale clip video. That's one way to do it. So so he did a video talking about the scale clipping as well. So so yeah, if you haven't, I'm sure many of you have already seen Miguel, Always Evolving Pythons, his YouTube channel. But if you haven't yet, definitely go check it out. You can see really, really beautiful animals he's making, and he's also does a great job. He's got very awesome energy, very happy and excited person. Makes it even more fun to be part of this hobby when you get to see people that are in it like Miguel.
Yes, he oozes the passion, and it's contagious. So highly
Yes.
recommend. And a huge supporter of us, and the support is mutual. He's amazing. So yeah, go check it out. Fast tests. We're still sitting pretty on the front there with a lot of different options.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah,
essentially, what I did was I took a long time and designed out everything else out that we needed to get
mhm.
all 30 ready. So it took me a while to design all the rest of them out and get them all ordered. And so anyway, I'll have a whole pile of them. There's a chance sometime next week, by the end of next week, I could have all of them all done. And we were shooting for the end of April. So if I get lucky, and we're only on April 9th right now, by the end of next week, we might have all 30 as fast tests. I at least have a chance at that, since I designed so many all at once and got them all ordered or on the way. But yeah, so we'll at least get some of them, most of them, and maybe even all of them by the end of next week. So next Tuesday in our show next week, I might still not have everything done yet, but 2 weeks from today, I hope to have most, if not all of them, all switched over to being fast tests.
Woo! I didn't realize that you were getting all those done so fast. I was still like, I mean, you've been saying this for the last couple of months, but even I was just like, oh wow, actually, that might
Yeah.
be done in the next week or two. Cool.
Yeah, that's why there's been a little pause where the last week and this week, and kind of saying, yeah, this is the same fast test, but it's because I dedicated a chunk of time to just design.
Ben has been getting ready to pounce.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So next week, during the week next week, will be the big pounce for the fast testing,
I
and
like it.
for well, yeah. So we've got a whole bunch of a giant amount of data coming in. Could be today even. I don't know for sure when it'll come, but any day we will have a shot at many new morph tests, including Monarch, Monsoon, TSK, Xanthic, GCRA, Xanthic, those four that we were trying to get the last time we did a big research run.
Yeah.
We should I know we'll have a bunch more data for all four of them this time, and I sure as heck hope it's enough to push them over the edge. And then several new ones that you all helped send in sheds for, like the Barnhart project we've talked about, and then paint and acid and lace, and lots more coming that we'll know over these next couple of weeks how all that data looks as well.
Very cool. So where are we at with Barnhart and IOD?
Yeah, so the Barnhart, I'm hoping that we get lucky on this first pass. It is possible that we could have a Barnhart specific test within the next 2 or 3 weeks if I get lucky. It could also take 2 or 3 months if I'm not lucky. So
yay, scientific process.
Yes, those of you that have been watching the show know sometimes things take a while. We gotta go all the way back to the beginning and start again on a new path, because the one we went down didn't work out. But today, actually, I'm going to be talking with Wesley again about high OD, and Chris Hernan is another person. He's worked on it a lot. Those of you that haven't seen Chris Hernan's amazingly orange high OD animals, it's definitely worth looking those up if you're on Morph Market or Facebook. I can't remember for sure if he's on Instagram too, but anyway, both Wesley and Chris have amazing, super orange, super clean animals, and they're part of this high OD project that they've been working. So anyway, I'll be talking with them about the data that we have so far, and about new samples that are worth collecting to look into it a little more. So it's going to take a little more time. Any of you that have high OD animals out there, if you want to send sheds in, if you go to the Help Us on our website and send sheds in, and known Barnhart Black Pastel line as well, we can use more of those just to make sure that we can get that nailed down. But then the other cool thing is that we actually have a couple other projects similar to the Barnhart Black Pastel, where it appeared to be a morph, like, something we already have and we understand and we have a test for. But when a couple of breeders sent in sheds for them, they actually tested negative, just like Barnhart Black Pastel. When people sent those in for a Black Pastel test, they came out negative.
Ooh. So you're
But we
saying there are like maybe some mystery lines here and some other known morphs.
for some other known morphs, yeah, we've got a
Ooh.
couple other projects already going.
Can you give us some hints to like what they are, or are you still keeping it kind of on the down low?
Down low for sure.
Oh,
But
okay.
it'll be cool and interesting, and hopefully we'll get to have those people on, just like we did with Tom Barnhart, and be able to talk a little bit about the project they've worked and how we found out that it's not identical. And then we'll also be doing what we did with Barnhart line, and we'll be sequencing a bunch of them and see if we can come up with tests for these new line specific morphs that we thought were just, something that we already had, but actually genetically they are different. And so that'll be fun and interesting.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Looking forward to that, because like Ben hasn't even told me, like outside of recording, we don't know what it is. So all right. But with that being said, it's now time for a why we do this. We haven't done that in a couple of months or weeks. So what we've got this time is a why we do this from Edge of Panic Ball Pythons, friend of the show.
Yeah, I got to go on
Oh.
his Instagram live and do a question and answer. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So he said, I do this because I love the underdog. Reptiles have always been the underdog. I caught my first snake when I was around 8 at a camping trip. Brought back for everyone to show everyone, and they were all freaked out. From that point forward, I knew I found my love. I couldn't own any snakes at all until I was an adult, but like many, I would frequent all the pet stores or anywhere I was and head straight to the reptile section, specifically the snakes. Then, about 10 years ago, I started keeping ball pythons. Now I wonder why I didn't keep them sooner. I keep ball pythons because of their size and versatility when it comes to breeding for patterns. Love the genetics behind them.
Awesome. Yeah, it definitely sounds familiar.
Oh, yeah. Especially like catching a snake, bringing it back to everybody, and it's like I love misunderstood underdogs too.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yesterday during the eclipse, I was sitting outside with one of my rat snakes. It was cloudy, and rat snakes don't really like look up and around anyway, so I figured she'd be fine. Just on the porch, and neighbors were walking past. Some absolutely loved them. Others were like, "Oh my god," and kept going. But I also got a lot of good educational moments, and people were asking questions, and I love that. The teacher in me loves the opportunity and the conversation starter. And it's just great. So hard agree.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to be on a future why we do this, send an email to me at raregeneticsocial@gmail and tell us what makes this hobby worthwhile for you. What keeps you coming back even after the hard days?
Even after scooping poop day after day.
Even after scoop and poop, exactly. And of course, our shed donor shout out this week is Inky Clouds. We love them. I think they're a fellow Virginian as well. And what's her name? Tommy Gill, I believe.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. She came in a clutch time, especially. She sent in sheds multiple times for multiple things, but one that was really helpful was when we got the hurricane test, and we found out that it was the same as Trick, and we only had one blitz shed that we ran, and it also matched. And I had mentioned on here, hey, we could use more blitz sheds, and she came through right away. I think she had three different blitz animals, so we ended up having, I think, 4 different breeders that had blitz animals, and we're at like about a dozen that we tested, and blitz is also identical. So, but yeah, Tommy came through like pretty much immediately, sent in blitz sheds. I really appreciated that. That helped us clear that up and know for sure what's going on with that test. And like I said, she sent in sheds for others as well, and really appreciate it. And talked to her, messaged back and forth with her many times over the years. She's good people, and she I think her specialty is working in dark morphs. So if you like the dark morphs, she's got some cool stuff going, and you should check her out on Morph Market and Facebook, and I think she's on Instagram.
Yeah, she's on Instagram. That's where I got that photo over on the right. I love those natural tones with high whites. So pretty. I don't know the morph, but I saw it and I was like, I have to have it on this slide. So definitely go check her out. Tommy's great. All right. And if you want to be on a future shed donor shout out, if you've already sent sheds, you can tell us, either pop into our DMs or message me at raregeneticsocial@gmail. Send us some photos of the animals that you've sent sheds for, or just some things you love to share. And we'd be happy to feature you here. Of course, we're just going to feature people who send us sheds anyway that have been a huge help. But, nothing wrong with promoting yourself as well.
Yes. If there's something specific you want us to show or say, then it's better coming straight from you than us doing our best guess. So
exactly. It's a spot to brag about yourself, and we are happy to promote it.
Yeah.
All right. Ben, I reckon that's the end of the show. Do you have anything to say? Any reflections from our now year of recording videos?
No, we've come a long way. If I had guessed a year ago where we would be, it wouldn't be this far. We've done better, gone farther than I thought we would, and I'm very excited for this next year, and even just this next month. I was telling Kayla, over this next month, we're gonna have a lot of stuff we can talk about, and some new morph tests. We will likely have some people come on that donated a bunch of sheds or have worked that project for a long time, and get to hear from them, kind of like hearing from Wesley and hearing from Tom Barnhart. I think that's a cool thing that we can all appreciate, that we can get a test and then also be able to hear a little bit about the history. And so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. And then also fast testing for everything, genomic registry coming soon. This is going to be a fun year.
We've come a crazy long way. And you done good, Ben.
Well, and like we've said many times, we couldn't do it without all of you. These shed donor shout outs, that definitely means a lot. And then anytime you use our services, that money just gets turned right around into helping develop more. So
exactly. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I will call that a day. See you next week. The outro in 3, 2, 1.